It's Jim White and it's Simon Jordan. The 17th floor of the news building here at London Bridge is a bit more, Simon, like Oxford Street at the moment, because to say the least of it, is congested. There is Spencer Oliver out there, a massive people. We've got camera crews here in the studio because two fighters who go head to head next month, Leigh Wood, the current world featherweight champion, and Josh Warrington, 2 times world featherweight champion, are going to fight it out in Sheffield. One of them is with us, Leigh Wood. The other is somewhere out there in amongst a heap of people in what's a very congested area. Leigh Wood, you're welcome. Good afternoon to you.
Afternoon, mate. You're right.
Very good indeed. Mr. Jordan is here, Spencer Oliver is here, and we await Josh Warrington. But without him, we shall press on. How have preparations been going for this fight on October the 7th in Sheffield? It gets ever closer, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's coming in fast. 3 weeks Saturday. I'm tired, constantly tired. I'm working extremely hard. I'd be lying if I said I was fresh, because it's challenging. I just want to go to bed every single day, but I'm where I need to be, and it's coming together.
I mean, going into this fight, Leigh, there's a lot of pressure on both of you going into this fight with the stages you're at in both of your careers. You know, you're now 35 years of age, he's 32 years of age. You've both been around a long time, and for the loser, it's going to be a difficult road back. It really is. And there's, you know, it's been a rivalry between you two, and
Spencer,
I've actually said, haven't I? I've actually said,
what are you
like? What are you like with Josh Warrington? Because they've sat you both together, so I'm glad that it's going to be all right.
We'll hold hands if you want. Like, no, I think we're signed, so but it's not like that.
So I was saying, Josh, there's a lot of pressure on both of you going into this fight. You're coming off that loss to Lopez. This is a fight that is a must-win fight for yourself and for you, Leigh, at this stage of your career. So big pressure.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. But I think that's what makes us special athletes that deal with pressure. I can't talk for Josh, but my best performances have been under a lot of pressure, especially my last fight. Incredible amount of pressure. If I'd have lost that fight with that fast turnaround, we'd look like idiots, you know. we begged for that fight and stuck our heels in for that fight and the fast turnaround and everything. So there's a lot of pressure on that as well. So that would definitely bring the best out of me.
That was a huge gamble for you, by the way. Maurizio Lara, you know, winning the fight just 3 or 4 months before the return fight. To go back into it, the immediate rematch like that, was a huge risk. A risk that I thought was too much for you, and I thought it was a silly fight to take, but you proved me wrong and a lot of other people as well by winning that fight. Put yourself back at the top of the tree. For you, Josh, you're coming off that close loss, split decision to Lopez, Alberto Lopez. And, you know, it's a must-win fight for you now, isn't it, going in here?
Josh,
the fight you wanted as well.
Before we go any further, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You've had the toilet break, and then you've popped in here to join us. It's great to see you. How are you feeling?
I'm good, mate. It's my 17th toilet break this morning. The water's going straight through me, so yeah, I'm good. It's good to be here. Talking about the fight and pressure. Yeah, there's always pressure. But I like it when my back's against the wall, because in the last one it was coming up against this unknown quantity, Luis Alberto Lopez. No one really knew who it was. It was just a case of, Josh, just get through this one again, and then we start looking at the big unification fights again. You know, the talks of America comes up, the talks against another of the champions comes up again, the talks of the winner of Leigh and Lara came up again. So for me, I don't like it being in that position. I like it when my back's against the wall. I like it when people start writing me off. And it sounds silly saying that, because it's like I don't get up for normal fights, but tell me I can't do it, and there's another bit of energy comes out of it.
Yeah, I love that. Spencer, you know what amazes me? We've got two fighters here in studio, Simon. Leigh Wood and Josh Warrington. And they're both in to talk about a massive fight. But the fight is him against him.
Yeah. And
you would see the two of them. When Josh came in and the handshake, there was almost an embrace. This makes me... I am just baffled by how this can happen. That the two of you are sitting here smiling, enjoying this, and it's great having you both in studio. But on October the 7th, it's all-out war, isn't it?
Fights aren't won here. Fights aren't won before. Fights aren't won. Talk sorry for the language, but we know when it counts. We know we need to switch on. We know when we need to try and take each other's head off, and it's not today.
Do you know what? It's funny because on his first press conference, it was Leigh's birthday, and I handed him a Victoria sponge. It cost me £5 that didn't it? So I'll be invoicing you after. But then a week or so later, I see one of the Paul brothers and Dylan Dallas chucking cakes at each other, and all of a sudden it's trending, and I'm thinking to myself, bloody hell, I think I should have started chucking cake at Leigh, shouldn't I? I should have got Johnny Kebab to chuck up on the table and pull.
You do like each other.
And pull Ben Davidson's hair.
There's a mutual respect here.
Listen,
is it?
Jim, I had this respect for Carl Frampton, and we had the fight of the year after that. You know, I think we're proper boxing. It gets to a stage where we don't need the drama to talk crap to each other. We do it with ease. We do it with the fists. You know, we're being amicable here. We're both fighting men. We've both got families. We do is talking in the ring. Simple as that.
Yeah, Josh, it is the ultimate gladiatorial sport, isn't it? And so each boxer gets the respect for the other boxer. You two have both had incredible careers, actually, and you both know what you're going into. Whatever way you look at this, whatever way you try and break it down and analyse it, and you think you know the way it's going to go, it's tough whatever way. It's one of those fights, the flip of a coin. You know, everyone's going to have an opinion, but we'll only know as the first bell rings. And I think both of you know that, and you've got that mutual respect for each other.
Yeah, I think it's one of them things when you've done it for years and years and years, when you've shared hard rounds in the gym, sacrificing so much. It's like the old school fellas of the streets will tell you, you know, when we battled with somebody, shake the round after, and we've done it so many times. It's like, all right, if you start slagging me off, then yeah, I'm going to give him it back. But there is that mutual because we've both been through hardship and come through it.
Well, you went in it just 5 minutes before, mate. So you didn't hear what he said 5 minutes before.
But Leigh, sitting here, mate, you presumably know and have a very good inkling as to what is going to give you the edge over Josh on the night, and you, Josh, have a very good idea of what's going to give you the edge over him. And you both know that, which gives you confidence, which makes you go into this fight bristling with confidence, knowing that you're going to win or that you're going to win. You know what you both got.
For sure. Sometimes you approach a fight knowing what you need to do, game plans and all that, and like his fights in the past and my fights in the past, sometimes you get caught cold or you get caught with a certain shot and that just goes out the window, and that's one thing that sells his fight. You show me one fight when Josh hasn't come to fight, not one. You look at my fights, one fight I've not come to fight, not one. This is what makes a great fight.
Boys, I have to say, this morning Simon was saying to me, woof, Warrington's in and Wood's in. This is a proper fight between two proper fighters. You eagerly await it, don't you?
Absolutely. No doubt about it. I'm not surprised that they're able to sit in the studio and hold a debate with one another, because they're grown-ups, they're also professionals, they know what this is about, and they're respectful lads. You know, they share an opponent, a recent opponent in Laura, that will be able to gain and garner experiences. But this is a proper fight. It's a difficult fight to pick. I know Josh is not going to like this, but I'm slightly erring towards Leigh. But what I do think is I think it's going to be a brilliant, brilliant fight between two proper fighters that have both been world champions and good world champions.
Why are you leaning towards Leigh?
I just got this feeling that the momentum is with Leigh and that this is his time. Now, I'm happy to be wrong because I like both boys. And either one of them that wins, I'd be very happy for. And Josh can take the energy from my opinion for what it's worth.
Keep it coming, Sam.
Take the energy for what it's worth.
I need this,
and
man.
utilise it. I just think we're going to see a brilliant, brilliant fight.
Yeah.
And if it resembles the fights that they've both been involved in recent times, then this is a great shot in the arm for British boxing, because it compounds the issues that are going on in other divisions by seeing two top quality performers getting a proper fight on.
What both guys can do is both guys have got that adaptability, but both guys can bite down on their gum shields. That's why you know you've got a great fight, because they're both going to come with a game plan, and you know they're both going to and you know like Josh has said and Leigh has said. He said, listen, you get clipped on the old Vera Lynn, mate, and that goes out the window, and you've got to bite down and start having a real tear up. And basically, you know, at some point, listen, looking in and looking at you two stylistically, that will happen at some point. Both of you guys are just you're gonna end up locking horns, and that's why we know we're in for a great fight. This is a brilliant fight.
Do you consider yourself slight favourite going into this?
I would obviously, I'm backing myself. I know what I need to do to win. I know what I need to do to make it look convincing. I know Josh so well. I've looked at this fight for years and years now and begged for this fight. So if I didn't know Josh by now, there'd been something wrong. I know what I need to do to make this fight a convincing win for myself. Yeah.
What do you want to say at this stage, Josh? Because Mr. Jordan, quite rightly, has had his say, just goes with Leigh. I mean, as you said, bring it on, give me more, Simon, give me more of that talk. It fires you up more.
What I was going to say is he's got a lovely ring on. I'm going to say that's lovely. There's that, Simon, but I think
Thank you, Josh.
No, listen, I'm massively confident going into this one. You know, my last one, I can, you know, make any excuse in the world, but I certainly wasn't as confident going into my last one as I am in this one. There's no way that I won't walk away victorious and be a three-time world champion on October 7th. I am that confident of it.
I think that's why the people lean towards maybe Leigh at this stage, is because you can only go off last performances and whatnot. You did look a little flat in your last fight against Lopez.
What I argue back with that, Spencer, is dissect that fight and see who finished the strongest.
Yeah.
You know, if I had my reasons for being slow in the first 4 to 5 rounds, but who wanted it more towards the back end.
Yeah, well, that's your style, Josh, and that is the way you are. You will just keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger as the rounds go on, as does Leigh. You know, that's why it's a great fight. But like I say, you just go on last performances or whatever, and you go, well, then the momentum will then be with Leigh. But like you say, champions feed off pressure. Champions do that, and that's why I know we got a great fight, because both of you guys sitting here, and the people that will be listening on the radio obviously can't see it, but both of you guys sitting here, you're sitting here with a smile on your face, and it's not fake. I'm just going, both these guys truly believe they've won this fight. They've got it. They've got it, and that's why we know we're in for a great one. Okay.
Actually, you can see the two fighters, Josh and Leigh, because if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, both of them in studio with us live this lunchtime, as well as the many hundreds of thousands listening this lunchtime on talkSPORT. I've got to say this, Johnny, big fight fan. It is so good to hear two such great fighters talking sense this lunchtime. No garbage talk between either of them. There's a fellow, Leigh. Leigh, what a great character. I had the pleasure of being in Forteventura recently, being able to use the same gym as him. Had a chat with him now and again. He's a top bloke, as is Josh. This is what the two of you are getting this lunchtime. Huge respect from the boxing public, and that's why we're delighted you're here.